America's money problems are getting much, much worse. Our national debt is out of control, and it's threatening the US dollar's top spot in the world. It's not just a guess. It's happening, slowly but surely. Let's be clear. People will still use the US dollar to buy things, but its role as the world's main savings account currency is changing. This isn't a sudden crash. It's a long process where countries are slowly moving away from relying so heavily on the dollar. Now, let's talk about the president's recently signed One Big Beautiful Bill. The bill was signed into law on July 4, 2025. While it promises some nice things, like no tax on tips or overtime, the harsh truth is, this bill will make our debt crisis even worse. Think of it like trying to fill a bucket with a hole in it. These small benefits are like picking up pennies while dropping dollars. It just adds to the problem. It doesn't solve it. Consider the indelible lesson of previous stimulus packages. Was the temporary relief of a $1,200 check truly worth the subsequent explosion in the cost of living, the skyrocketing prices of housing, food, and insurance? The empirical evidence suggests a resounding no. The vast majority of Americans received mere crumbs while simultaneously grappling with pervasive cost of living inflation. Meanwhile, the ultra-wealthy reaped the full bounty, benefiting disproportionately from the inflation of financial assets. This One Big Beautiful Bill is poised to replicate that detrimental pattern. According to the Congressional Budget Office, or CBO, the authoritative, nonpartisan arbiter of fiscal forecasts, this legislation is projected to add an staggering $3.4 trillion to the national deficit over the next decade. And critically, this deficit surge is heavily front-loaded. Next year, in 2026, this single bill is expected to balloon our deficit by an astonishing $500 billion. In 2027, that figure climbs even higher, exceeding $600 billion. The fiscal implications for 2028 are equally concerning, indicating a severe acceleration of our national indebtedness. Even some politicians are speaking out. Senator Rand Paul, for example, warned that this bill adds billions and billions in new spending that we simply have to borrow. He called it fiscally irresponsible. Our national debt is now over $36 trillion. This year, the government expects to take in $5 trillion in taxes, but spend $7 trillion. That means we're borrowing another $2 trillion this year alone. And as the debt grows, so do the interest payments we have to make. That's money that can't go to things like education or healthcare. The president's team claims this bill will reduce the debt and boost the economy. But if that's true, why does the bill also need to raise the debt limit by a staggering $5 trillion? Common sense tells us because they know the debt is going to keep growing, not shrink. Some say new tariffs are bringing in lots of money. And yes, they collect billions, like $97.3 billion as of June 30, 2025. His represents a significant increase of 109.5% compared to the same period last year. It's important to note that these figures reflect the revenue collected from importers who pay the higher duties. The tariffs have seen various changes and extensions throughout 2025, including a universal 10% tariff that took effect on April 5th and specific higher rates for certain countries and goods, such as steel, aluminum, and automobiles. Some proponents argue that increased tariff revenue will offset these costs. And it is true. President Trump's tariffs have generated a notable surge in revenue. For instance, in June, the U.S. government collected $28 billion in tariff revenue, projecting an annual rate of $336 billion. While seemingly substantial, let us inject some critical perspective. The U.S. government is projected to spend approximately $7 trillion this year. That $336 billion in tariff revenue constitutes a mere 4.8% of total government expenditures. When measured against a projected $2 trillion deficit for this year alone, and the CBO forecast of a $500 billion increase in next year's deficit from this bill alone, the notion that tariffs can meaningfully address our debt crisis is a dangerous fallacy. This new bill will push us further into debt, lead to more money printing, and make the dollar even weaker. The world is clearly moving away from the US dollar as its main currency. The dollar has had its worst year in 50 years, and central banks globally are buying gold instead of dollars. This is a massive shift, and it will be disruptive. Stay informed on these critical changes by subscribing to our channel.